You clicked on this video because you want to learn what it takes to become a better Counter-Strike 2 player and how to rank up inside of this game. I'm going to teach you today how to get global elite in this game, how to become top 100 in your region in Premier, and how to get faceit level 10. But before we get into it, guys, everything I'm going to talk about in this video, you can expand on it further by watching my other content explaining each and every one of these concepts into detail. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these professional tips, tricks, and advice, and join my Discord so that you can get personal feedback and advice from me. So let's get right into it. So as a player in the competitive circuit, the professional scene, I've played in many events. I've traveled the country, across the world, and I've learned so much from playing this game. And one of the biggest things that you guys need to understand is that every single thing is going to take time. At once upon a time, I was a silver elite in this game. I was a silver 1 in this game. I was a gold nova, right? I was so bad at this game because I did not know what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I didn't have anyone teaching me because I didn't want to watch videos. I didn't want to watch and learn. So even you just watching these videos is going to help you out so much. But just keep in mind that in order to get to the top, you got to start from the bottom. And that's the biggest thing. So learning your basics, you need to understand how to master your recoil control in this game. You need to understand how to master your movement and just your aim in general. You know, all of these basics is just going to be what build up your fundamentals and make you from being this bad player to being a competent, good player inside of this game. So just understand that you need to understand the basics. You need to get into a server, right? You need to get into a aimbot server, a practice server, and just sit there for hours and you know, build these basics, right? You get in there and you build these up, and the more you do that, the less you're gonna have to focus on that, and the more you can start focusing on complex details. So let's talk about communication now. Counter-Strike 2 is a team-based game. It really is. And effective communication is vital. So one, you're going to make sure that you need to have a microphone, right? You need to have a mic in order to rank up in this game and play good. If you don't, you know, it's just going to slow down your progress. So make sure you have a mic. That's the first thing. But man, you know, call out the enemy positions, you know, share information, and make sure that you can strategize together with your team. It doesn't matter if they're bad players, you know, if they're not listening to you, whatever, still give those calls so that they have the chance to succeed and do good, even if you're, you know, they're not listening to you, they're not playing smart. Always just communicate. You know, you can always do that. No matter how bad of a game you're having, you can always communicate. Give call outs, you know, and feed your team that information to win the game. But don't backseat game. Nobody likes a backseat gamer. So just give your comms and let people focus. And, you know, speaking of that, you really need to focus on new maps inside of the game that are going to expand your competitive experience. So for new players in this, I would recommend just learning the competitive maps in the pool. That's what professionals are going to play on. That's the maps you can see your favorite pro play on, and you're going to learn the most from. So focus on maps that you enjoy and learn them inside out. Literally sit there and learn every single angle, learn callouts, you know, learn nades on the map, and be so flexible to adapt to your team's preferences when it comes to where you need to play and how you're going to, you know, rotate around the map, because map knowledge is by far the most important thing in this game. It really is. Once you have map knowledge, it doesn't matter if you're a bad player. It does not. If you can outplay your opponents because you know the timings on the map, you know these little cubbies, these details, and do it. Set up a practice server, which if you don't know, I made a video on how to set up a practice server, and sit there and learn all of these little angles, learn these places, watch your favorite pro play, like I said, and really expand your knowledge of each map. So what makes Counter-Strike unique as well, guys, is that there is an economy inside of this game. You're never going to be able to rank up if you're not sure how to manage economy. Economy management is crucial in CS2. So make sure that you buy with your teammates, and, you know, coordinate when to eco or when to force buy, when to save, whatever it is. Make sure you understand that it's a team game, so your economy is so important together. This comes down to saving as well, guys. A lot of you aren't ranking up because you're trying to go for every 1v4, every 1v5, every 1v3 clutch. Stop going for that. Trust me. I know you want these insane moments and these cool highlights, but I'm telling you, if I would have done that from, you know, earlier on in my career, I would have been so much better, because I'm just trying to force every single, you know, clutch situation instead of just saving my op, instead of saving that rifle that I can use in the next round, or drop my teammate so that we can get a full buy. This is really going to be the difference, and it's going to allow you to also get exit frags too. When the enemy team is chasing you down, you can kill them and ruin their economy, right? Economy management isn't just about your own economy. It's about being smart and ruining the economy of the other team. So, you know, I'll do a video in the future going in depth on CS2 economy once the game's out and we kind of see the changes Valve has made, but just understand that is so important to ranking up. And again, with the map knowledge I talked about earlier, positioning and game sense is going to carry you so far. And this is only going to come from playing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours, right? For me, I have 13,000 hours in the game as I make this video, and positioning and game sense has come to me just from playing this game so much, right? So from playing thousands of matches, I just know this, right? So once you are able to develop your game sense, it's going to allow you to anticipate the enemy's movements and actions, right? So if you see a player playing here, you know, long side B, then you might know his teammate's going to be on short side covering this, right? You just develop this game sense, and I can't really teach you guys that. That's going to come from you getting this personal experience and seeing what works and what doesn't work from your own gameplay. So don't be discouraged if you're losing. Instead, use these losses and these lost gunfights, whatever it is, in order to develop your skills and understand for the future, right? We're playing for the future. We're not playing for the now. So just keep that in mind as you are playing this game. Let's talk about team play, right? So as I mentioned earlier, this is such a team game, right? So when it comes to this, when you're playing with random players, or you know, maybe you're queuing with somebody else, you need to be able to be versatile, especially if you're not a professional player. If you're just like new to the game, or you know, you have experience but you're not the best ranks, you're not everything, you're going to have to play different roles, right? Because you need to learn from the better players, right? Let them play the roles that they want and you can fill. So, you know, if you want to op, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to op every single game. There's games in pugs and in premier matches that I don't even get to op because these players just buy ops right away because they're so stubborn and they can't learn from somebody else. It would be more valuable for them to buy a rifle and watch me op and learn what I'm doing, the places I'm playing, and then they would actually get better through that, but they're so stubborn. So my biggest thing, guys, is if you know there's better players in the lobby, I think you should learn from them and let them play their roles. And while you're spectating them and seeing how they play, then you learn, right? So develop your roles, but don't get hard stuck to them, right? Be able to be flexible, change your positions, and just learn the map that way, because that's how you are going to learn, right? Is by losing and playing a spot that you're not comfortable and you're feeling the pressure. That's great. And you know, at the end of the day, it just comes down to practice, guys. You got to practice and practice and practice. Put in the hours. How are you going to beat somebody with 100 hours in the past 2 weeks if you're putting in 10 hours in the past 2 weeks? You're not. You're just going to sit there and call them a loser and say how bad they are and how they have no life. But cool, okay, they have no life, but they're still beating you because they're putting in more work than you are. So you need to practice a lot if you actually want to be at a high level. You can't be coming in and out and, you know, not actually playing the game frequently. You gotta play frequently if you want to rank up and get better. And you also have to have a strong mental. You have to. Counter-Strike is so tilting. It is so competitive, and you know, comes down to these little micro decisions. You have to be able to have a strong mental when you play. It's so intense. You'll encounter setbacks, but stay positive and maintain a strong mental attitude. Don't get discouraged by losses, but instead use them as opportunities to learn and improve. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta adapt and evolve, guys. Counter-Strike 2 is a dynamic game that's always going to change with time. You can't get set in the meta and what's going on now forever, right? You got to keep adjusting, and you can't look back at the past at certain maps that were played or changes that were made in the past. You got to be able to keep looking forward and inventing new ways to play. And also, a cheat code to ranking up in this game, guys, is just queuing with better players. If you find good players in your lobbies, add them and try to get them to play with you. If you're playing with people who are better than you, you're inherently going to be able to become better and start ranking up through them, right? You're going to learn from them, and you might even be playing players that are way better than you because you're playing with friends that are higher ranks, but you're going to start adjusting your skill and your gameplay to that, right? It might take weeks, months, but truly, I guarantee you're going to get better through playing with better people. If you're playing with worse people, then you're going to get worse. It's just you are what your environment is. So in conclusion, guys, remember, ranking up in Counter-Strike 2 takes time and effort. You have to stay patient. You have to stay dedicated. And you always need to be working on your skills. But with the right mindset and the tips that you can find on my channel and through my other socials, you can climb the ranks and become a force to be reckoned with in the world of Counter-Strike. So good luck, and I hope to see you guys climbing and playing with me at the highest ranks.